Hey there, I am Trina, and if you've been following along, I have made a few videos on breast implant illness, the awareness of it, how to prepare for the surgery, and now this is my 2.5 week post-op, which that was originally just what the video was supposed to be and where I was at, but it's also going to be what happens when you have some setbacks, which unfortunately I have, but this is, a video of how you handle that. My setback is a hematoma. And a hematoma is a localized collection of blood. It's outside the blood vessels due to trauma, surgery, something that's happened, and your blood starts to pool because it's now outside of the capillaries. And because I had a obviously new hole, we could say, in my body, the blood pooled in my left breast. How you know this happens, the day after surgery, my left side was very more inflamed, and over the ACE bandage, it just started to kind of puff up in my armpit and my upper breast. And my mother and I knew something was wrong. It hurt, it was tender, and my doctor told us to come back in. We did, and I still had the drains in at this point, so he just kind of pushed the blood down, which sounds horrific, but that was fine. And it did go down a little bit, so we thought it's fine. Now, hematomas can go away on their own. It does take some time, a month to a month and a half, 2 months, and it just dissolves back into your body. You'll urinate it out, sweat it out, all the things. But I was starting to heat and massage, as you're supposed to do after you have drains. And this one day I had heat the hematoma and just started massaging differently. And I was just kind of pushing it a little bit and massaging as you do. And then I went to go do my hair for work. And as I lifted my arm, I noticed that it was blood. So why? Because they don't suture up where your drains were, and they don't do that because if the body naturally needs to drain, that's why they leave them open. So it had scabbed, but obviously this needed to come out. Now, of course, I was frightened. This is where I can't say enough that you should find a doctor who is going to give you their cell phone number so that you can check in with them. And I speak volumes about my surgeon, because this man goes through a whole day of surgery, and then, I'm frantic at one point and call him at 10 o'clock. He answers, second ring. I just check in with him and he's always just right there. It boggles my mind. I'm like, how in the world do you do this? Just crazy. So find a good one, and also have all the gauze and diapers and pads and just anything that, I made that preparing video. But just have these things in case anything like this should happen. Cutting back to going to work. So he said it's better out than in, bandage it up and let it happen. I had a follow-up a couple days later, so I wasn't too concerned. I said, well, I'll see him then. So I did. I bandaged myself up and went to work. And now I took my time off of work. I wasn't crazy. I felt I could, and I went as lightly as I can. So be careful, definitely don't head back too soon. And this is why you wouldn't want to go back to the gym right away. You're not allowed to until your doctor clears you, and they don't, because hematomas could happen. So I went to work, and it had been 48 hours that I was still bleeding. And I messaged my doctor, and he said, why don't you come in tomorrow? So my mom headed this way, thank God, because guess what happens at work? The hematoma burst. And what I mean by that is, I don't know what happened inside my body, but it all just was ready. And I had to leave work immediately. God bless my coworker who took over for me. Came home, 3 diapers worth of mayhem. Not cute. That was the night I called my doctor. God bless for answering. So the next day we went and he had to aspirate it. Now I need to preface, this is not to scare anyone. This is not to discourage anyone from having an explant done, because this is just to, again, make anyone prepared. And also, I kind of felt like everyone had this done. I felt alone. I felt very alone. I felt like this happens to nobody. Why did it happen to me? It happens. So you're not alone if you're watching this and this pertains to you. And also, this is just the road to recovery. It's different for everybody. I think we don't talk about that enough, just our road to recoveries. It's not easy, and they're brutal, and you have terrible nights and you have terrible mornings, but you know what? We get through it and you get better. So that is my reason for this. And the aspirating that he had to do, I've heard some women, the next day after their surgery, they have to go in and get put under again to have it aspirated. But luckily, this was all local anesthesia, and it was one of the most unpleasant things in my life. But I got through it, and he just had to press very firmly for everything else to just get out. And hopefully, oh my gosh, hopefully it's all done. But yeah, what can you do? Heating pad, massaging, I still need to do that. Still need to take care, still need to kind of take it easy. And just thankful for all the people that have been helping me out with this at work and so forth. So it's just another reminder that don't take all the days that are going well for granted, that your hands work and your arms work, just all the things that we tend to take for granted. Yeah, that's my story. And I'll try and make a 1 month post-op, and hopefully it'll be all the better and we'll be good to go.